Hi, I'm Jay, and today we're going to talk about one of the most common questions we get, and that is, how do I know that my electronic air cleaner is working properly? So here we have our demo unit. We have a GeneralAire electronic air cleaner, and the light is lit on it, a little on-off light. The performance indicator light, which is green, is lit. Our furnace blower is running. The air cleaner is not making any crazy noises. It's not snapping like mad. It's not humming or buzzing. And everything's working fine. So the way we're going to test this is we're going to slap this ductwork. This is the return air ductwork. Our ductwork, because it's our demo unit, is very clean. But on a normal application, there will be some dust inside of this ductwork. And we're going to slap the side of it, knock some dust loose. The loose dust will get sucked into the air cleaner. It will temporarily short out one of the cells, and you'll hear it making some snapping and sparking noises. Then it will stop that. The light will stay on. Okay. Sometimes when large particles get in here, it makes the snapping noises. This indicator light will flicker. That's normal. But when we're all done, these lights will be lit bright. So let's try this. Okay, so did you hear those snapping noises? That was, again, large particles going into the air cleaner and temporarily shorting out the collector cell. So all that's gone. It has cleaned up the air, and we're back to normal here. Both lights are lit. The air cleaner is quiet. So that's the easy way of testing your air cleaner. Okay, so we're taking a look at our air cleaner, and there's something going on. The power is turned on, and the indicator light here is not lit. So we're going to see if we can figure out what's the problem with this unit. So what we're going to do is turn the air cleaner off. We're going to wait a minute. Then we're going to turn it back on and see if this light comes back on. Okay, this light came on, this one did not. So what should happen is this light should come on for anywhere from 30 seconds to a minute, and that's the calibration cycle that this air cleaner is going through to calibrate the airflow sensor that's built into it. Okay, so we have a problem here. So let's see if we can figure out what it is. So now what we're going to do is we're going to turn off the air cleaner, take the door off, and remove both cells. Okay, so both cells are out. For the purpose of the test, we're going to go ahead and leave the pre-filters, and this unit also has charcoal after filters. We're going to go ahead and leave them in. Put the door back on. Again, the furnace is just sitting here. It's not running. There's no fan, no nothing. So we're going to turn the air cleaner back on and see if this light will come on. Aha. Okay. So the power light came on. The performance indicator green light came on, and let's just watch it. Okay. It's now off. So the unit has calibrated itself to no airflow. Let's just turn it off and back on again. We're going to turn it off, and we're going to wait a minute, and we're going to turn it back on. Okay, now we've waited a minute, and we're going to go ahead and turn this thing back on. Okay, again, the green light came on, it's calibrating, and it's off. Okay, so it calibrated itself every time you take the door off, turn the power off, anything like that regarding the power turning on and off, this goes into a recalibration mode. So apparently this power supply is fine. The problem here is with one of these collector cells. So now what we're going to do is turn the power off, put the cells in one at a time. Okay, so let's try this cell first, just for the heck of it. It doesn't matter which cell you put in first, but we're going to do this one. Now, we're going to push it all the way to the back. The reason for that is so that we don't have to worry about alignment issues with the contacts that are on the top of the cell. Okay, so there's contacts here. They need to make contact with parts of this power box. And the easy way to ensure that happens is just take the cell, slide it all the way to the rear. Okay, now that we have one cell in here, let's put the door back on. All right, now we're going to turn the power back on and see what happens with our performance indicator light. Aha, the light came back on. Okay, so, and let's see. All right, so the light went off. So it calibrated, everything worked fine. So we're going to try the same thing with the other cell. Power off. This cell here seems to be the good cell. Let's put it on the side. And we'll take the other cell and put it in. Again, all the way to the back. All right, let's turn it on and see what happens. Nothing. Okay, so we turned it on, the power light came on, but the performance indicator light never turned on. So there seems to be a problem with this cell. So let's take the cell out and see if we can find it. We're going to turn the power off, door off, and remove the cell. Okay, now that we have the cell out, we're going to look very closely at the cell. We're going to look for bent plates. These are all nice and parallel to each other, but sometimes in the process of washing the collector cells, you will get the corner of one of these plates that'll be bent, or you'll damage one of the plates like in the middle somewhere. If it's bent slightly on one of the corners, oftentimes you can get out a pair of needle nose pliers and very carefully bend it back straight if you haven't damaged it too much. But like I said, a mild bend on a corner you can usually straighten with a pair of pliers, needle nose pliers. Okay, so we're going to look at this for things like that, like bent plates or obstructions. There could be dead bugs, there could be anything stuck between the plates. So we're going to look around for that. Everything looks good on this side. Let's turn it over and take a look at the other side. Now, on this side, you have ionizing wires. They're very thin, very hard to see, but they look like piano wire. But there's one in between each of these spaces. Okay, you want to make sure that they're all there, because another thing that can happen is you can break one of these ionizing wires, and it can be flopping around in the breeze in here when the furnace blower is running, and it'll short out the cells, in which case you want to remove that ionizing wire, remove any broken pieces, and you can buy these little ionizing wires from us and easily replace one. So we're going to look at every one of these. Yep, they're all there, they're all intact. Everything looks good. All right, now I've just found the problem. I see that there is a dead bug stuck between two of the plates. Okay, I'm going to reach in there with a screwdriver and just flick him out of there. Okay, now that we removed our dead cricket, we can put everything back together again. So let's put the cells in. Now, one of the things that I haven't talked about earlier is airflow. So you'll notice there's an arrow in the end of these collector cells, and that arrow, it says airflow. That arrow should always be pointed towards the furnace. Okay, so we're going to slide this in. There is a little stopper down here that prevents these cells from going in backwards. But if someone has damaged this, or it's dried out and broken or something like that, then you could potentially put the cell in backwards. But again, the arrow should always point towards the furnace. All right, there's the one. And there's the second. All right, again, both arrows on the front and the back cells pointing towards the furnace. Let's put the door back on. Now, we do not have the furnace blower running. That's important. So we're going to turn this on, and when we turn it on, this power supply is going to power up. It's going to calibrate the airflow sensor, then it's going to turn itself off, basically. This light will still be lit, but the air cleaner will not be running. And then it will turn on as soon as I power up the furnace. So let's do that. Okay, light's lit. That's a good sign. And this light should turn off here in a second. All right, the light just went out, so it's done calibrating. So it's ready for the furnace to run. As soon as the furnace blower comes on, the sensor inside here will sense that the air is blowing through the air cleaner, and it will power up the air cleaner. Okay, let's talk about the other possibility. If we remove both collector cells and we turn this on and nothing happens, then there's a problem. So if you turn this on and nothing happens, follow the cord on the back side of this thing and find out what it's plugged into. And you're going to want to see if that receptacle is live. So you could unplug the air cleaner, plug a lamp or a radio or something into it, see if it turns on, make sure that that outlet is live. So if that outlet is live, and when you turn this from off to on, this light does not come on, or this light comes on, but this light does not come on when the cells are removed, then there's a problem here with the power box. So that's what we're going to do next, is remove the power box and show you how to do that to send it to us for testing. Okay, so we have the cells out, the door on, and we're going to turn this air cleaner on. Nothing. This light doesn't come on, and this light does not come on. Now, it could also be that we turn this on, this light comes on, this light never fires up, and the cells are out. Well, we also, at that point, know there's a problem with this power box. So once we determine there's a problem with the power box, if there's a problem with these lights coming on, then what we want to do is take the door off, unplug the air cleaner. Okay, now the air cleaner is unplugged, we're going to go ahead and take the top off of this thing. So, Phillips head screwdriver. We're going to put those on the side so we don't lose them. And we're going to slide this cover off. Okay. Now we can see all the electronics down inside here. The next thing we're going to do is look in the very front. At the bottom of this power box, there are two nuts, and we're going to loosen them up. To do that, we're going to need an 11/32 inch nut driver. All right, there's the one. There's the other. Okay, now we have loosened the two nuts that are inside here that hold this top on. So those nuts are in little keyway openings. So what we're going to do is slide this forward some and lift it up. so here we are. We have the power box in hand. And at this point, what we would do is put this lid back on the power box and take the power box and ship it off to us. We offer a diagnostic and testing service where we bench test these and we contact you once we determine what the problem is, and we let you know what part cost is going to be to fix it. Okay, now that we have the power box off and we're going to ship it off to us for testing, we're going to go ahead and put this back together. Both cells in, put the door back on. Now, nothing's going to hold the door on, so what you're going to want to do is get some masking tape or something just to tape this door on, okay, just to keep it in position. That way you can run your heater or air conditioning unit while you're waiting for us to repair your power box. Okay, now that your power box has been repaired, it's time to reinstall it. So, you just reverse the procedure. Take the door off, remove the cells, install the power box back on top. Now, one of the things that's important is you'll notice there's a couple of little clips here. Those clips or hooks go into holes in the back of this power or air cleaner collector cell box. In the very back on the top, there are two openings that these go into. So it's important that you carefully put it in place so that they slide in. So now I'm putting this in with the bottom touching in the back and the top is up in the air. Now in the front, again, there are these skeleton key-shaped holes here that you have to line up the two bolts with. So I've just done that and I put it in position. That's it. Okay, now next thing to do is to take this cover off so that we can tighten those two nuts. So let's take the cover off. All right, got the power cord out of the way. Top off. And the nut driver. All right, it's now tight. We'll put the lid back on. Two screws. Now we'll put the cells back in. All right, I'm going to make sure this is turned off. We're going to go in the back and plug the air cleaner in. Then we can turn it on and make sure our lights come back on. Thanks for watching. For additional help or questions, feel free to contact us.